If you ask anyone what is the most iconic Disney song of all time, they will most likely say It's a Small World. But if they don't, they might also say When You Wish Upon a Star.
This video is brought to you by Rogue Energy. When I'm up in my room editing, writing, or gaming, I love to have a good drink with me. It keeps me focused and relaxed. Rogue Energy is absolutely my go-to drink. It is much healthier than any other energy drink. It has 0 sugar, it is gluten-free, and paleo-friendly. They have 16 delicious flavors available like Radiant Rush, Rocket Pop, Sour Candy, Grape Popsicle, and many more. Rogue also has hydration available with flavors like Fruit Punch, Rainbow Candy, and Strawberry Bubblegum. Head on over to rogueenergy.com to get your energy or hydration drinks, starter kits, or shaker cups, and use code BBDIZ10 for 10% off your entire order. Thank you to Rogue Energy, and again, use code BBDIZ10 for 10% off your entire order. Now, let's get back to the video.
Walt Disney was a big fan of the Pinocchio story ever since he was a kid. In 1939, a play by Yasha Frank based on the original Pinocchio story was published. A memo was sent out to Disney employees on June 9, 1937 that recommended employees watch the play and consider it for a feature. It took a while for story meetings for Pinocchio to begin due to work being done on Snow White. Story meetings began on March 24, 1938. During production, the main animation team created characters, the sound team provided sound effects when the animation was finished, and the music team was also hard at work creating the music for the film. A man named Lee Harline wrote the score for the film. He had worked with Disney before on Silly Symphony shorts, and he composed music for 50 animated shorts. He joined Disney in 1932, but before that in 1931, he caught the ear of Walt Disney when he wrote music for the first transcontinental radio broadcast from the West Coast. He teamed up with Paul Smith, a composer he was familiar with since he had teamed up with him before on the writing of Snow White's score. Lee Harline also wrote most of Pinocchio's songs with a man named Ned Washington. Ned Washington began his career in vaudeville. His first successful song was Singing in the Bathtub from Earl Carroll Vanities. In 1933, Ned wrote a song with Bing Crosby called A Ghost of a Chance. He moved to Hollywood in 1934 and in 1938 started at Disney. Lee Harline and Ned Washington teamed up for the writing of Pinocchio's music. Ned penned the lyrics and Lee wrote the music for the movie and the song When You Wish Upon a Star.
When you wish upon a star, fate steps in and sees you through. Your dreams come true.
Whenever Mr. Harline and Mr. Washington had written a song and presented it to Walt Disney in his office, similar to the Sherman Brothers, Lee and Ned would play the song on the piano. It is said that Ned was so enthusiastic about the music that when it would be playing, he would keep slapping Walt's knee saying, "You're gonna love this, and listen to this, Walt." Ned's excitement about his work led to some great songs, including the masterpiece that Jiminy Cricket would sing in the beginning of the film. Jiminy Cricket was voiced by Cliff Edwards. He also sang the part in the film. He starred in Gone with the Wind and starred in more than 100 motion pictures. His most famous role was, of course, Jiminy Cricket, and inspired millions when he sang When You Wish Upon a Star. Pinocchio was not an immediate success upon its release. The dark subject matters in some of the scenes did not mix well with audiences during wartime. Even though the film did not do well financially, the critics and audience that did see it absolutely loved it. When the soundtrack released, the movie gained even more fans. Specifically, When You Wish Upon a Star was becoming a legendary song, many people finding inspiration in its lyrics. Numerous artists including Edwards and the Victor Young Orchestra, Glenn Miller, Kate Smith, Ringo Starr, and Vera Lynn covered it. In 1940, the song hit number 5 on the Billboard Recording Buying Guide. When You Wish Upon a Star was even translated in the Swedish cover Sur du Stammen I Det Bla by Christer Sjögren. Walt Disney was surprised by the success of the Pinocchio music. He said, maybe the music wasn't so bad after all. When You Wish Upon a Star even became a favorite of Walt's, since he would wish and dream big. He could definitely connect with the song's lyrics. And many fans started to feel emotionally connected with the song, mostly since, around the time Pinocchio came out, many people wanted to escape life for a while, since life was hard at the time. Of course, this is still the case for many, and an inspirational song like When You Wish Upon a Star can connect. I know personally, I connect with the song since it reminds me of my idols who are dreamers, like Walt Disney and Ronnie James Dio. I also think of family members. Jiminy Cricket is singing about a better life, wishing that he could find a home. It speaks to those dreaming of something better. A year after the film's release, Lee Harline and Ned Washington were nominated for both Best Original Score and Best Original Song at the 1941 Oscars. Pinocchio won both of these awards, and you guessed it, When You Wish Upon a Star won the Best Original Song that year. One man who found inspiration in the song is Gene Simmons of Kiss. He was 8 years old when he came to America from Israel, and on his 1978 Kiss solo record, he covered When You Wish Upon a Star to close the record.
When you wish upon a star, anything your heart desires.
He did this since he loved the song ever since he came to America. Gene explains that watching TV and the song helped him learn English. He also added, the lyrics are the heaviest lyrics that have ever been written because they can apply to anybody. Anybody who's got a dream can relate to them. But I think it's universal at the same time. It can be personal to everybody. It doesn't have anything to do with age or sex or anything. The song was so emotional to Gene that according to producer Sean Delaney, if you listen to Gene's version, you'll hear his voice crack, because at that point, he was crying. I wouldn't let him re-record the vocal. Gene Simmons was very close to his mother, Flora Klein. She was his hero and biggest supporter. He covered the song as a tribute to her. She passed away in 2018 at the age of 92. Louis Armstrong covered When You Wish Upon a Star. The single was released in 1968 on Buena Vista Records. In 1986, Linda Ronstadt covered the song as well. When You Wish Upon a Star was awarded at the 1989 ASCAP Film and Television Music Awards when Lee Harline and Ned Washington won the Most Performed Feature Film Standards Award. Beginning in 1985, the Walt Disney Pictures logo featured When You Wish Upon a Star. But the Disney company started using the song as the theme for the Walt Disney Anthology series since 1954.
Walt Disney's Disneyland.
When you wish upon a star,
One of these many worlds will open to you. Frontierland. Tall tales and true from the legendary past. Tomorrowland. promise of things to come. Adventureland, the wonder world of nature's own realm. Fantasyland, the happiest kingdom of them all. Presenting this week, the Disneyland Story.
Unfortunately, Lee Harline passed away on December 10th, 1969 in Long Beach, California after a battle with throat cancer. Ned Washington passed away on December 20th, 1976 in Beverly Hills, California due to a heart ailment. These men created something that is beloved for generations. Starting in 1987, Disney started a Hall of Fame honoring Disney legends. The Disney Legends class of 2001 inductees included many worthy men, including Howard Ashman, George Bruns, Frank Churchill, Alan Menken, Marty Sklar, and Lee Harline, and Ned Washington. When You Wish Upon a Star was put into the Library of Congress in 2009 and was ranked number 7 by the American Film Institute on the list of 100 greatest songs in American history. When You Wish Upon a Star's legacy will go on forever and continues to inspire dreamers to this day. So that is the dissection of When You Wish Upon a Star. I know everyone who is a Disney fan, and you don't even have to be a Disney fan to know this song. That is how famous this song is and how legendary it is. And I'm not kidding. The thing that makes this song so great is because it can connect to anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Gene Simmons said it perfectly. It doesn't matter who you are. It can connect to everybody in a personal way. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are. Anybody can like this song, and that's what's so brilliant about it. Not to mention it comes from an amazing movie as well, and is sung by an amazing character in Jiminy Cricket, one of my favorite Disney characters. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, let me know by leaving a like and consider subscribing. It would make me a very happy man. Also, if you have any memories of When You Wish Upon a Star, or if you want to explain, why it's one of your favorites, let me know down in the comments. Anyway, with that, I will see you all in the next one. Have a magical day, everybody.